This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, glad to know you are watching your program. This is Business and Economy Network. I want to say thank you so very much for those of you watching us in Calabar, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ilori, Kano, Kaduna. Those of you watching us outside the shores of Nigeria via the online channels. My name still remains Peter Woche. For the program rundown today, for Company in Focus, we have the CEO of Linea Industry Limited, and we also have for Spotlight the CEO of Ferratto Industries Limited. Not left out, we have the CEO of Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Nigeria, OFAB, and also their recent media award. It's going to be an interesting watch. I'll be back after this time. But remember this: happiness starts with you.
Linea Industry Limited was established in 2001 with its parent company as Linea Italian Limited, specialized in the importation of Italian furnitures. With limitation in importation business in Nigeria, the MD CEO, Linea Industry Limited, Mr. Eluka Anene, looked inward to what has been his passion and what he can do to add value to the Nigerian economy, and decided to start a solely made in Nigeria furniture company in Abuja. Like other businesses, the startup wasn't on the platter of gold, as lots of sacrifice, hard work, and planning had to be put in. Today, Linea Furniture is a brand to reckon with and stands out with its simple, practical, perfect finishing products that can compete with other furnitures around the world.
The parent company, Linea Italia, which means Italian line of goods, started in 2001, year 2001. After I came back from Europe, I lived in Rome, where after my graduation I did postgraduate courses, in business, and I came back to Nigeria in 2001 in collaboration with my Italian friends, partners, and we set up the furniture company Linea Italia. Linea Italia basically is the imported furniture from Italy, and after a while, I thought it, after my partners, there was a ban on furniture, my partners went back to Italy, and I thought I had to look inwards, to see how I can add value to the economy, and because I have passion in furniture and what I'm doing, I decided to set up Linea Industry, after so many years of importing furniture, and from Italy, and we set up the factory. It was a lot of hard work, and a lot of planning and everything, and today Linea Industry, furniture made in Nigeria, locally produced here in Nigeria. One thing I like in furniture, I like furniture that are very, very practical. Furniture that are simple, practical, and serve the purpose. Very functional. If I put it that way, very functional furniture. So we try to and furniture with a lot of finesse. We try to produce furniture that it's comparable to what is obtainable outside the country, and that's how that's the vision of this company. Nigeria as the nation, has so much potential. There's so much we can do. It's not all about oil. There's so many other aspects of the economy that one can actually harness and tap into. I think there's so many areas of the economy that people need to, look inwards and see how they can, invest in them and then add value to the economy, create employment, and then one way or the other grow the economy, basically grow the economy, and this is exactly what I'm doing, in my own little way, trying to create employment, trying to add value to the system, and I believe if we start, if we bring out the entrepreneurial spirit in us, we shouldn't be somewhat reliant on government, we should be basically, the private sector should be the main sector driving the economy. doing business in Nigeria is quite challenging, you know. One of the problems, you know, we encounter as an industrialist, you know, one of the problems we have is the problem of energy. That's what I light, you know, because we spend so much of our overhead cost on diesel, you know. We'll spend, at the end of the day, you work so hard and you end up spending the whole money on diesel. Then you have the areas of government agencies, you know, they come around as if they don't want you to grow. They don't want the business to thrive, you know. There's so much multiple taxation, you know. I think government should look at all these things, you know, because they inhibit growth in business, you know, and because all these multiple taxation, one way or the other, doesn't encourage they would be industrialist or entrepreneur to, I mean, it doesn't encourage business, it doesn't encourage growth, and it dissuades a lot of people that might want to really invest, you know, in businesses like this, you know. So I think government should do something, give something like a moratorium period, tax holiday, you know, give incentives, you know, so that people can actually give them time to really gestation period to really build their business, you know, because if not, I mean, a lot of people, it takes a lot of courage, you know, resilience for people to stay back in business, you know.
Mr. Jude Igwe is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Ferratto Industries Limited, formerly a practicing lawyer before he saw the need to diversify and contribute his quota to the business development of the nation. Ferratto is with the sole aim to bridge the gap in the manufacturing sector, providing relevant services to many and reduce unemployment to its barest minimum. Also, to provide necessary support in ways of building materials, all geared towards fighting and reducing drastically housing deficit in Nigeria. Ferratto Industries is ready to partner with the government to see that most Nigerians are comfortably accommodated.
Jude Igwe is a lawyer by training. I have been in legal practice for almost 2 decades before I felt there is need to look at some other aspects of Nigerian economy, particularly business. And because Nigerian economy is such that one needs to contribute in a way as to make impact. I believe that in going into business, and particularly into manufacturing, contributing to the industrial sector development of Nigeria, that is capable of making a lot more impact in terms of services to a greater number of people, in terms of employment, which, you know, you employ one, you feed many. Ferratto Industries is an organization that was specifically packaged to really impact on the building and construction subsector of Nigerian economy. Why so? Everybody knows that in Nigeria there is so much deficit in the housing sector, and the government, particularly the federal government, has been hammering on that, making it a policy, you know, to ensure that Nigerians are accommodated. And if there is any way of making that federal government policy workable, easier to implement, by going into such areas that will be able to afford the government the tools, afford the government the materials, afford the government the means of effectively and in an easier way, non-complicated manner, implement these policies and be able to make housing available to the people. I think that is why Ferratto is here. Yeah, you see, they are what we call modular buildings, and the traditional way of building has always been there with us. You know, our people, particularly in Nigeria, we're always looking for the hardware. If you touch a door, you want to see if it is heavy. If you go to the market to buy a simple mixer, water mixer, which we call tap, you want to carry it up and see if it is a heavy gauge, as they will normally say in the market, without knowing what is the quality of what is inside. Is it just iron that is heavy that you're buying, or is it something that is qualitative? So we believe that it is not the weight that matters. It is the quality of what you're delivering. And we believe that it is also, if you can also reduce the weight and also reduce the cost, it is all the better. So what we do is, you have the police, the styrofoam. As a matter of fact, what we produce is called styrofoam. That's the product. There's what we call expandable polystyrene. They come in bits, and we call it for short EPS. This expandable polystyrene is what you now blow into what we call the polyfoam, which people still call polystyrene for, how to connect easily. Now, this is the lightest form of building material, which you can now cut in panels, match them with steel, and set them up in panels, and that takes the position of the block. You set them up, and then you plaster the meshed poly panels, and that is it. You do not need to be laying blocks from bottom to the top. That takes care of it. That is cheaper, that is faster, that is more specific, because on the ground you have already known the square meter area you are going to cover. And so within a space of 1 week, we have set up a complete building. You also use it for what we call parapets or external cornices, as against raising your walls, doing all the formwork, putting all the irons, and then casting them with mortar. You can just design and cut the external cornices and put them around. This can also happen in a matter of hours. And you simply put your wood trusses, and then up goes the roof covering. And that is the end of it. So within 1 week, you can do a complete bungalow. And if the government is intent on providing housing for 1,000 people, it is something it can sit down and determine the start point and the end point of it, and it will so happen. So, and apart from this, you can also use it for the roofing as well. Instead of casting the normal slab, you use it, the panels, to form the slab and just cast a little on top of it, and that is it. So you do not need the additional roofing sheets and woodwork and all that. So it is the best way to achieve the housing for all in a very short while.
OFAB is the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Africa, geared towards bringing necessary development to biotechnology. Dr. Rose Gidado is the country coordinator of OFAB Nigeria. It is a platform created to bring together stakeholders in biotechnology and enables interaction between scientists, journalists, civil society, industrialists, lawmakers, and policymakers. It organizes regular meetings among stakeholders to disseminate relevant information, to share knowledge and experiences on issues that borders on the development of biotechnology, its management and development in Nigeria. Also provides an opportunity to make new contacts and explore new avenues of bringing the benefits of biotechnology to the Nigerian farmer and investor.
OFAB is Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, in Africa, and is actually a platform that was created to manage a range of platforms for dissemination of information, for sharing knowledge, for sharing scientific and well-researched knowledge on agricultural biotechnology that will at the end raise the profile of this technology. It's also for informed policy decision making. Is meant to guide the policy makers who are always confronted with contradictory sources of information on this technology. You know, this technology is being misinterpreted. This technology is also, you know, being misunderstood, and so the platform is meant to really demystify some of these mystics, and also to remove the politics in it, because there's a lot of politics, international politics is involved in it. This is a scientific venture, so it's not meant to really misguide people, but actually to it's for good uptake, you know, of the usage of biotechnology in agriculture, just to enhance food security. Plans, we've had a series of activities. I remember that we have had in May, we had a session with the professional bodies, the different cadres of the professional bodies, that's different professional societies, Biotech Society of Nigeria, Genetic Society of Nigeria. We also invited the Nigerian Medical Association, even though we didn't have them, and some of the agencies that we have, agencies of government, the regulatory agencies. Some promoters were there. It's just to rub minds with them. You know, science is multifaceted. So if you are a specialist in one area, at least you are not a specialist in another area. So it's always good to meet with them and share with them what we have, why we are developing this technology, and how we are doing it, the science behind it, and so on and so forth, just to enhance good uptake, and also to give an enabling environment for the adoption of this technology, because we are marching towards commercialization. So we had this, and then we had another session, a major one, at northeast regional parts of Nigeria in Taraba State. We collaborated with the Taraba State government. We held a session where all and sundry, the policy makers, the legislators in Taraba, the farmers, the civil societies were all there, and the youth also. I mean, all the different sectors of the society within the state, we were with them, and we visited some of their projects that they have, that Taraba has in place, like the greenhouse that they have put up very, very formidable, greenhouse, and we're so pleased with it. These are all activities of biotechnology. And so we were with some scientists, with the breeders, who really told them, like, you know, they had presentations and they briefed them on how these genetically modified crops and foods and products are being developed, what they are doing, and where we are now, and where we hope to be in future, and so on and so forth. So I think there was, at the end, better understanding of this technology.
National Biosafety Management Agency is a beneficiary of the struggle of OFAB. I realize that. Some of us seated here today, the journey that has brought us here today, celebrating OFAB, if we hadn't realized the National Biosafety Act, OFAB would have been a failure in Nigeria.
How do we become self-reliant? How do we become self-sufficient in food? How do we achieve zero hunger? We need to use pervasive technologies like biotechnology.
In the past 20 years, the country's population has increased tremendously, but the land mass has remained the same. Our farmers have continued to practice farming the way they are used to, but we cannot continue to do the same thing year in, year out, and expect different results. Science and technology are remain one of the most potent weapons for us as a country to enhance productivity in agriculture from our unproductive and overused land.
And the winner is Omalara Alpha from TVC.
I'd like to say thank you very much, first of all, to God Almighty and to the organizers of this award, AATF, OFAB. Thank you very much. It's a very exciting feeling, you know, when you work and the work you do is being appreciated.
This is Business and Economy Network.
Welcome back, viewers. This is where time will permit us. I want to say thank you so very much, and I believe you will have learned one or two things concerning this program today. Tomorrow is another day. We can do this together. Remember this: determination, perseverance, and focus can bring you success. Do your part. I am doing mine. See you next week.